Okay. So good evening to all the startups present here, and good morning to the Koffman team who has joined us from New York. So Nexus and ACIR, in collaboration with its international partner Koffman Southern Tier Incubator, Binghamton University, is pleased to bring you an opportunity to grow your business into the US market. To all those who are not familiar with Nexus, it is India's premier incubator owned by US Embassy in New Delhi and is being run by ACIR. ACII is a not for profit organization based in Austin, Texas, which brings together innovators, entrepreneurs, and government organizations to promote American best practices in incubation and entrepreneurship. ACIR has run several innovation programs across the globe, with Nexus being its largest from the last 6 years. And I'm proud to say that till date, Nexus has graduated 216 startups who have gone on to raise over $89 million in outside funding and have closed over 216 deals with American organizations. So the Soft Landing New York program being presented today is to help you navigate your way into the US market and tackle different challenges. So not taking much time, I would like to welcome Alina to introduce herself and other speakers and share more details about the program. Over to you, Alina.
Thank you very much, Sakib. And hello and welcome to our informational webinar on Grow Your Business in the US Market. In this 60-minute webinar, we hope you learn about important opportunities for entering the US market through our Soft Landing New York program. And my name is Elena Yankova. I'm the director of the Soft Landing New York program and also the moderator of this webinar. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Next slide. In this webinar, we will reveal first the advantages of expanding your business, not just to the United States, but to the state of New York, one of the top-ranked US states in terms of many criteria. You will also learn about the great opportunities that exist in our region, the Southern Tier of New York State. Most importantly, we will outline 6 important benefits that Soft Landing New York provides to companies admitted to the program. And stay tuned because at the end, we will provide important information about the forthcoming fall 2024 cohort of Soft Landing New York and how to apply for the program. During the last 20 minutes, you will have the opportunity to ask questions and we will open the floor for general discussion. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. We will answer them for you at the end of the presentation. And the presentation slides and the video recording of the webinar will be available to you later. Next slide. And here again, we have the speakers listed, and I would invite them. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the speakers and invite them one by one to introduce themselves. Starting with Eric.
Hi, my name is Eric Ashley, and I'm the director of ACIR and the leader of Nexus. Really, I'm just glad to be able to present this opportunity with our partners here from Binghamton University. So if anybody's interested in the Nexus program, you're always welcome to talk to us about our program here in India for helping Indian startups. Our webpage is www.startupnexus.in. But for all this other information, I'll hand it over to the Bingham team, and we're very excited to have them here to offer this opportunity for you to be able to enter the US market and the New York market. So thank you, Elena.
Thank you, Eric. Sakib, do you want to say a few personal things about yourself, who you are?
Yes. So thank you, Alina. I'm operations director working at ACIR and Nexus, and I've been working in India for the last in India innovation ecosystem for the last 5 years, especially working with government sector. And before working with Eric, I was working with Ministry of Defense and Niti Aayog. And I'm happy that an opportunity arises for Indian startups to enter into the US market through you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bandana?
Hello, good evening. I'm Bandhana Katoch. I'm the Executive Director of Koffman Southern Tier Incubator, originally from India, Himachal Pradesh up in north. So very nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to connect with all of you.
Thank you. Atanas?
My name is Atanas Tanev. I am the Business Development Manager, domain backup for the Soft Landing New York program. And we hope to help you through this webinar to discover more about New York State and the US market and evaluate your opportunity and potentially to come and join us as part of the program. And I also teach global entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship at Binghamton University, and we'll hope to also help you in terms of the market entry strategy and customer discovery and mentorship support as well. So I look forward to connecting with you after the webinar.
Thank you, Atanas. Next slide. With this slide, I would like to acknowledge our sponsor, the U.S. federal government, or the Economic Development Administration of the U.S. Department of Commerce, which provided $1.6 million grant in January 2022 to design and develop the Soft Landing New York program. Next slide. Why invest in a soft landing program? Foreign direct investment in any country is an important instrument for economic growth and job creation. A soft landing program would help foreign investors overcome a number of serious entry challenges, such as regulations and compliance issues, misunderstanding the customers in the target market, and lack of adequate sales and marketing strategies. Next slide. So from a foreign investor's perspective, a soft landing program would reduce significantly the risk of entering a new unfamiliar market and also reduce the costs associated with this entry. Next slide. I would like now to start first with outlining the advantages of growing your business in New York State. New York State, I'm sure everybody has heard about New York, the Big Apple. If New York State were an independent nation, it would rank as the 11th largest economy in the world. There are many, there are like 20 million residents, which according to Indian standards is not much, but this is the fourth most populous state in the United States. And also it is, its economy ranks among the largest in the world and accounts for a significant portion of the GDP of the United States. Now, the government of New York State provides a lot of incentives for small businesses, for startups. Here on this slide, we have outlined tax-based incentives. There is a special program that you can see it in the middle, the Startup New York. It offers new and expanding businesses the opportunity to operate tax-free for 10 years on or near eligible university or college campuses in New York State. There are many other incentives. Next slide. That the government provides, like small business support, support for minority and women-owned business enterprises, operational support, innovation development support, growth support, venture capital support, exporting support. There are really a lot of incentives that the government provides to small businesses as well as startup businesses. Including, you can see here on the slide, the New York Ventures, which is a government-run venture fund with over $300 million of capital. Also important to note here is the existing more than 70 plus funded center, public-private partnerships of NISTAR, which is an Empire State Development Division of Science, Technology, and Innovation. Next slide. And I'm very happy to introduce to you the southern tier of the state of New York. You can see its location, bordering Pennsylvania to the south. This is a special economic development region with very rich history. The genius of American manufacturing was established in New York, Southern Tier, and in Binghamton. IBM originated in Binghamton. What we have here also is the flight simulator, the flexible photographic film. They were also invented in Binghamton, which led to a notable concentration of electronics and aerospace and defense-oriented firms. And this led to the transitioning to a high-tech economy in the region. And we have a lot of companies that are keeping that innovative spirit alive today. Most importantly, we have one of the professors at Binghamton University, Stanley Whittingham, who is the Nobel Prize laureate in chemistry 2019 for his research, groundbreaking research on lithium-ion batteries. And the first and only so far lithium-ion gigafactory, lithium-ion battery gigafactory of New York State is based here in Binghamton, using the technology developed by Professor Whittingham. Next slide.
So I can take this. So just to add a little bit more context of the geographical location of Southern Tier, it's about 3 hours from New York City, the Big Apple and the Wall Street, which you all must be familiar with. The reason we call it as Southern Tier is because it's a consortium or a combination of about 8 counties in this region. Binghamton University is located in one of the counties there in Vestal. And Binghamton University is known for its centers of excellence. We currently have 4 centers of excellence, specifically focused on small scale system integration and packaging center. We also have renewable energy and smart energy center. In recent years, we have been able to attract quite a bit of funding to establish various life cycle of innovation translation from clean energy, specifically battery and energy storage. Southern Tier Clean Energy Incubator, Koffman, from where we are joining you today, is located in Binghamton, and it's a 6-year-old incubator. It started in 2017. It is one of the 6 NYSERDA funded business incubator. And just for your reference, NYSERDA is New York State of Economic Regional Development Agency, which is very similar to Ministry of Development, Skills and Development, as well as Ministry of Science and Technology from the Indian government. Similar kind of economic development goals in terms of job creation, as well as promoting innovation and workforce development within the region. So we were one of the 6 in that area. And now we have been able to establish national level technology center here. Next slide, please. So New Energy New York is a new initiative. It's a national leading hub for battery and energy storage. We cover the entire gamut of battery life cycle, starting from critical mineral to packaging and components, to developing battery chemistries and components for their end applications, battery security systems, as well as end of life of the battery life cycle, recycling of battery life cycle. New Energy New York it's not necessarily a spin-off of Binghamton University, but it's an initiative. And through that, we are working on 3 major pillars. One is innovation, translating university researchers from within the US and outside US into marketplace. Second pillar is technology translation. That's the initiative through which we are engaging with you today. And third one is workforce development. Next slide, please. Over to you, Elena.
I would like also to emphasize the role of the Southern Tier Innovation Hub in the area of food and agriculture technologies. We have the world-renowned College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Cornell University, which is part of the Southern Tier based in Ithaca, New York. And it has groundbreaking research and a lot of facilities. The New York State Center of Excellence for Food and Agriculture is based in the region. It's part of Cornell Agritech. It has tremendous facilities for any startup companies, for small businesses to pilot their research, to come up with enormous innovations in the area of food and agriculture. There is also a state-funded worldwide, open worldwide Grow New York Food and Agriculture competition. It runs annually, and it attracts businesses, as I mentioned, from all over the world, giving them the opportunity to bid for their business innovations and win the prize of $1 million, also second and third prizes for a total of $3 million. So if any of you are interested and are in the area of food and agriculture, there is now the competition running for this year's round. It is still open. I believe the deadline is sometime in May. Yes. Next slide. It's done.
Sure. What we have been able to gather, we have so far shared with you the various educational institutes which we collaborate with, Cornell, SUNY system, which Binghamton is part of. Just to elaborate on that, that is State University of New York, which has 65 campuses where we have various collaborations, as well as Columbia University, with whom we engage very closely. So besides the educational institutes where you have an opportunity to do research collaborations with world-renowned scientists and researchers, we also have been able to bring together an industry cluster that focuses significantly on the manufacturing as well as on various assembly components for different industries, both in the agriculture space as well as in the clean energy space. Additionally, I would like to add, just for a context, because I want to address healthcare startups who might be joining us today. We do have established pharmaceutical as well as nursing school here in Binghamton University. It has been recently established in 2019, so it's a new school, but that also means that they are very open for research collaborations with startups coming from around the world. They have now established CGMP compliance facility for animal testing. So just want to make sure, if you're hearing a lot about clean energy and agriculture from us, I want to acknowledge the healthcare entrepreneurs in the audience here today. Besides that, we have been recently, so US government last fall recognized close to 31 technology hubs around the country, which meant that those hubs will become industry clusters for their specific areas. Binghamton was recognized as an America's battery tech hub, expanding the battery application in all the industries from agriculture, healthcare, as well as clean energy. We also have a Center of Excellence here in Binghamton from Cornell Agri-Tech.
And I would like here to emphasize the industry cluster in electronic assembly manufacturing. And you can see here the index. If the average for the country average index in electronic assembly manufacturing clusters is 1, Here in this area, the index is 40 times above the average. It is 41.83, which means there is a very, very great concentration of companies in the area of electronic assembly manufacturing. Next slide. Now I would like to start the discussion about the benefits of our Soft Landing New York program. In this presentation, I have outlined 6 such benefits for you, starting first with a series of workshops, online workshops that we provide on the US business and market environment. And the workshops cover the key areas of the business environment, starting with culture and the cultural aspects of doing business in the US, customer discovery for the US market. We emphasize this a lot. There are 3 separate sessions on customer discovery for the US market. We cover the areas of US immigration law and types of visas for foreign entrepreneurs entering the US market, business structuring, choice of legal entity in the US, intellectual property law and protection, finance and banking, accounting and taxes, business incentives and grants at the federal and state level, how to raise capital, how to pitch for US investors, labor and human resource regulations, export-import regulations, and anything that companies wish to learn about. Next slide. And if you can get the whole slide. Bandana is the leader of the customer discovery segment of the program. So there is one more component of the slide. So Bandana.
Sure, thank you. So as part of this engagement of soft landing program, as Elena mentioned, most of these are virtual programs. One very core exercise we do with all the companies who join this program is a customer discovery segment. NSF, which is National Science Foundation, initiated a program for customer discovery known as ICORPS, ICORPS, about in 2010. So it's been about 10 to 15 years. It has been launched nationwide. We have modeled our customer discovery segment on that program. The key highlight of that program is by going through different modules of customer discovery, we help you to develop your pitch, your engagement, your customer discovery perspective for US customer. What we have seen in working with many international companies is the business model, different kinds of the ecosystem, how the farmer subsidies are done, how the healthcare insurance are, which kind of changes the business model for many startups when they move from different countries to the US. During this customer discovery, we try to work with you to help you understand who the key stakeholders are going to be on your map for identifying customer segments, who you should interview in those customer segments. How should you develop interview questions that are relevant for American customers? How should you request interviews, assist you in doing one-on-one interviews, as well as best practices to conduct interviews. This is conducted over 3 modules of customer discovery. And as part of this program, we encourage you to complete at least 20 interviews of US market stakeholders with a thought process that through this program, through this module, you are able to understand what US market looks like at the ground level. You have your ears and your eyes on the ground to understand customer segment as you advance and expand into US market.
Next slide. And the second benefit that we offer to the participating companies in our program is customized mentorship assistance. You'll have direct communication with an assigned mentor, and you will discuss business development with your mentor, addressing a lot of questions, where, when, and how can I create my US entity, and many, many other things. So each participating company gets an assigned mentor from the Koffman Incubator. Next slide. Another benefit is that in partnership with Cornell University, the Cornell S.C. Johnson College of Business, we provide student research assistance to the companies enrolled in the program. There is a team of students from the College of Business led by a faculty advisor who work on a research project defined by the companies themselves. For specific technical aspects of some of the business models, we also provide access to graduate assistantships from the Binghamton College of Engineering and Life Sciences, and they can test certain technical aspects of your business model. Another big benefit for the program, and actually for you that we provide as a program, is an in-person market exploration and customer discovery bootcamp in Binghamton and also Ithaca Cornell. We do it as a 1 week presence in the area where companies come, and we have a program for them as a group, meetings with government officials, local stakeholders, economic developers, potential customers, potential partners, and others. And we help them really assess their entry mode into our market. Another big benefit for you would be the connections that we provide through the rich networks of both universities, Binghamton and Cornell, and also the network of stakeholders that we have. You'll have access to different government agencies, business service providers, law firms, banks, and we provide opportunities for matchmaking, one-on-one meetings with potential strategic partners, distributors, joint venture partners, and of course, customers. Next slide. We also, the sixth and perhaps very important, not the last but not least in importance, a benefit is the discounted facilities at the Koffman Incubator. Companies enrolled in the program get 6 months of free co-working membership, 6 months of free mentorship, and free access to the incubator's programming, events, and networks. And this is thanks to the sponsorship from the US federal government that I mentioned at the beginning. I would also like to emphasize that the Koffman Incubator is the only entity in New York State which has a soft landing designation from the International Business Innovation Association. This is the largest member-based entrepreneurial support network in the world, with over 1,200 members, incubators, accelerators, and other entrepreneurship centers from over 60 countries. And now I would like to invite Bandana, as the director of the Koffman Incubator, to outline the facilities and the programming at the Koffman Incubator.
Thank you. So Koffman Incubator, as I mentioned in the previous slide, was opened in 2017. So we are coming closer to completing our 7 years. It's a 25,000 square foot space built over the 3-story building. It consists of 4 kind of different spaces. It has dry lab, which basically means it's a lab space where you can have basic research done, probably not the biochemical researches, but any kind of computer focus, SAS focus, software focus companies can use the dry labs where they don't need typical wet lab spaces. We also have 14 wet lab spaces, which comes with entire infrastructure of hood, sterilizing hood, and other equipment that you need for biochemistry as well as biotechnology focused research. We have co-working space across the designed to create more collaborations and creative thinking in the space among entrepreneurs as well as with other companies which we host at Incubator. We have private offices and event center all accessible to you as being member of Koffman Incubator. Next slide, please. Just some fast facts about Koffman. In last 7 years, we have supported more than 120 companies, out of which 84 companies are still our current members. 38 companies are clean energy companies, and we have 13 international companies who have integrated with us through soft landing program. Total graduate companies have been 29. The typical milestone for graduating companies from incubator is either they have grown larger than the size of team of 10, or they are having a revenue or sales cycle of 2.5 million. We also organize various programs and training courses that are helpful for entrepreneurs as they continue to engage with US stakeholders. The economic impact, which is the funds that are privately raised by the companies beyond the grants and support awards we provide, is close to about 294 million in 7 years. We have also, that's one thing we feel most proud of, that we have been able to create more than 465 jobs in the region through these various initiatives. Next slide, please. So I'll give you an overview of different programs. Koffman Business Incubator is typically an early stage entrepreneur program. You can literally start from the time you have an idea. This program is specifically geared to engage with entrepreneurs, both aspiring entrepreneurs as well as entrepreneurs who are working towards initiating an idea. Through that program, we also do digital accelerator app, which probably will come in the next few slides. If it doesn't, I'll cover that time. This is specifically focused for non-clean energy companies. So companies in agriculture, companies in healthcare space, companies in education space and beyond. Clean Energy Incubator is the incubator program that is recognized by New York State government. It has been for last 6 years, and because of which we have been able to successfully develop our clean energy vertical. If you remember from the last slide, about 60% of our companies are in the clean energy because of the various initiatives and incentives we are able to provide them through this program. Elena talked a lot about soft landing program, which has been very successful in engaging with a lot of international companies. Next slide, please. NSF I-Corp is a program for customer discovery, which is already a part of soft landing program when you are working in this program. But once you decide to join the US, if you would like to get more deeper into a customer discovery, we also organize NSF I-Corp customer discovery program, through which you also get initial funding of $3,000 with the potential to get to the national level for $50,000. Nanny student startup experience, Elena covered that, so I'm not going to cover it. That is also paid interns available to you for the program. Shannon, please, next slide. Thank you. Equity and Innovation Training Series is a program which is led by Assistant Director here, Ebony Hetto, specifically focused on minority and women business enterprises, through which we help minority businesses to get certified, which allows them to be on sole source for many government-based programs, both at state, regional, and national level. We also run one of the first few accelerator programs on cannabis in Koffman. New York state has been very supportive of cannabis businesses as well as hemp-focused businesses. The last program is about Digital Program Accelerator, which I mentioned in the previous slide as well. This program specifically focuses on the web app developers and website-focused, e-focused based entrepreneurs and businesses. And then when you are completing this program, it allows you to have AWS $5,000 worth credit and also provides you $2,000 development cost for your app or for your website.
Now I would like to outline the success of the Soft Landing New York program. So far, starting in the beginning of 2022, we have organized 4 cohorts, and we have had a total of 54 companies enrolled in the program. And here on this slide, you can see the sectoral distribution, although I would like to emphasize, and there was one of the questions in the chat, whether we have any sectoral preferences. No, we do not. Except the gambling and such industries, but the program is open to any sector as long as you have the potential to be very successful in the US market. You are welcome. And also as long as we have the capacity to coach you and help you enter successfully the US market. But so far, the majority of the companies you can see come from the food and agriculture sectors, also from clean energy, healthcare, and optics, and artificial intelligence. Next slide. In terms of geographic distribution, these 54 companies participants come from 5 continents, 32 different countries, the majority from Europe and the Middle East, then North America, Canada, probably because of the geographic proximity, leads the list with 10 companies, followed by India with 4 companies that have been enrolled in the program so far, and then Germany. Next slide. In the next 3 slides, you can find testimonials, what companies who have been through the program, what they say about the program, their personal impressions. I would like to leave more time for discussion, so I'm not going to go through them, but you can go to the website of the program, softlandingnewyork.com, and you can find many more testimonials about the program. And next slide, and next slide. And next slide, and next slide. And now I would like to give the word to Atanas, who would very briefly outline for how to apply to the program. We have a cohort in the fall of 2024, and the application is still open for this cohort. Atanas.
So if you're interested in applying, you can get in touch with me, send me an email. And my email is listed on there. We'll share the slides as well. So you send me an email to talk about applying for the fall 2024 cohort. And we'll schedule a virtual meeting with the program team, me and Elena. And then what you have to do in order to apply is have the meeting, as always, to fill out the screening questionnaire. And the screening questionnaire will help us get an idea of your company, as well as its needs for entering the US marketplace, what kind of support you will need to be successful. You also discuss what is the problem that you're solving, what is the solution that you propose, what is the current competitive landscape, and what makes you unique. As part of the screening questionnaire, we ask you this question: what makes you unique compared to the current alternatives, and how you can sort of gain a competitive advantage in the US marketplace? Who would be your ideal customers, in particular connecting to the customer discovery segment? How would you acquire users and customers? Who would be your early adopters? What key performance indicators do you have? What kind of marketing strategy can help you best enter the US marketplace with its distinct consumers? Also, you stipulate identification of your student project, what kind of support you would need, market development, business market research, business development, and any of the expectations from the soft lending program that can help in terms of help you entering the U.S. marketplace more successfully. And once again, we can application. You have to send in your application by June 3rd, which is practically at the end of May, the Monday after the end of May. And we'll review your application during the month of June and get back to you with the results by July 1st. And next slide, please. And this is here sort of the timeline for the program. So we're working on the application deadline by June 3rd, the notification by July 1st. The program will begin late August with the commencement event, virtual onboarding, launch of one-on-one mentorships afterwards. September 3rd, we will launch student research projects also. September 9th, and we also have the online workshops on the U.S. business and market environment that we'll be launching the following week. And the in-person market exploration bootcamp will be in Upstate New York, where you can come and visit us and learn more about the local regional ecosystem. That will be in early November. And the graduating event will be around December 10th. And once again, we have companies that joined from all over the world, as Elena highlighted, including 4 companies from India, and you can be from any sector, startup or scale up as well. We're particularly emphasizing the food and ag sector as well as the clean energy sector, because those are strategic industrial cluster strengths of our region, but also have accepted a variety of our companies, including from healthcare and optics, artificial intelligence, and fashion and apparel. So if you're interested, once again, please do get in touch with me and Elena, and we'll go from there. Thank you. And if you have any questions, also get in touch with us.
Thank you. Next slide. No, okay. Now I would like to open the floor for discussion. I think we have, we started 10 minutes later, so we have at least 10 minutes, if not more, for questions and answers.
Also, all the questions that are coming in Q&A, I have been responding to those, so please feel free to review them as well.
There is a question about how many participants we have for each cohort. It depends. Ideally, we would accept up to 10 companies so that we can service them better. But depending on the quality of the applicants, we can accept more. Like this current cohort, we have 20 companies. I know this is the upper limit, but typically, let's say around 10 companies. Another question I see is how for applying, you should know you have to send an email to Atanas or me or Bandana expressing your interest in the program, and then Atanas will schedule, as he mentioned, interview with you, and then send you the form, the screening questionnaire to fill up, which would be the equivalent of the formal application. Okay, Bandana. Do we require to register in New York or not to
join the program?
Yes.
You do not need to incorporate. In fact, that is why we do this program is you can come here, you can join the program, understand the various aspects, legal, finance, different aspects for you to establish your business here. Through customer discovery, you can connect with the customers. And then if you do think that expanding to US market, and we definitely would hope that that is the result that comes out of the program, Then you can see how you would like to structure, whether incorporate in New York, Delaware, or have a subsidiary here. So those are all the conversations we assist you through our legal uh, um, legal attorneys, not there that the through our lawyers who can give you pro bono consultation for up to 30 minutes.
Yes, and I would like here to emphasize that um, we have a special workshop on how to register a company in the US, and with a very experienced lawyer from Phillips Lytle law firm, and they can provide different options for you on how to register the company here. But no, to apply and be admitted to the program, you don't need to be registered here. But you do need to be registered either in New York State or Delaware if you are interested in getting funding from the state government. Now, this question, I have a company in gluten-free food products.
I sent a response to it.
What?
I responded to it.
Okay. My question was whether this is for import or export. But yes, we have, we work in collaboration with the U.S. Commercial Service, and they provide a lot of experts on export, import regulations and compliance. Of course, you can send your email expressing interest anytime, today, tomorrow, once you receive the slides with the email. Yes, May 1st was listed as a deadline.
And the deadline actually is at the end of May 31st.
Okay.
But you can get in touch with us as soon as possible in order to schedule the interview and give you time to fill out the screening questionnaire.
Next question I see, Bandana is responding, but maybe you'd like to.
So the question is there any different scheme for companies dealing in sustainability and carbon credit? That's a very broad spectrum you're asking. Depending upon how carbon credits are you looking at, is it through agriculture supply chain, from decarbonization, different other sectors? That is something we have to look into your technology to further suggest you what programs through our engagement you'll be able to get that information. Are the potential government grants also sector agnostic? Yes, we do have some support grants which are sector agnostics. We have some corporate partners, NICEAG, which provides $25,000 as an ignition grant. And then we have Fuse Hub partner, which provides up to $65,000 grants for manufacturing and equipment purchase. However, I do want to emphasize that the applications for these programs are competitively selected. So you will be going in with a competition to make sure. We do not guarantee that you will get these grants. What we can do is support you in making your application strong, that you have a higher probability of success. We are right on time here, so I just want to make sure if there is any other questions or anything, we can share our email address. Yes, there it is. Thank you, Shannon. That is the email address for Elena, director of this program. You can get in touch with any one of us presenting here today, and more than happy to address any concerns.
And just in case, for some reason, you lose the slides, you forget that information, any of you, or many of you are connected, of course, or are Nexus alumni, you can always send those questions to us. And of course, we know the team at Binghamton, and we can forward those questions just in case you happen to lose the emails or information that is presented here. So either way, it's best to connect to them directly, but just in case, you can also send them to us, and we will forward those questions to them as well. Okay, and you see in the chat there that there's 2 emails there for Bandana and for Yelena. Well, great. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all taking the time here to talk about this amazing program that is supported by the U.S. government and giving Indian companies a chance to not only enter into the U.S. market, but specifically the New York market and access to everything in the Northeast and of course, New York City and the rest of the large cities there as well. So, and being supported by the U.S. government, making sure that that is actually very, very affordable or actually free for different Indian startups here. So very exciting. And I just want to thank the team here, Yelena, Bandana, and the rest of the Bingham team for taking the time to talk to our startups here. And all I can say is thank you again. We look forward to all the startups applying if that is something that's interest to you. And again, if there's any questions or you need some more details, feel free to reach out to them directly, or you can reach out to us here at Nexus as well. So thank you again, Bandana. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, the whole team. And we'll be seeing you, I guess, on the next. Thank you so much.
Eric and Sakib, for your help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Alex.